Before we dive into the bombshell that WWE doesn't want you to know about, let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. When have you ever seen Triple H sweat like he did during that post-WarGames press conference? When have you ever seen WWE scramble to control a narrative this badly? Because right now, as you're watching this video, WWE is praying you don't connect the dots that I'm about to lay out for you. They're hoping you'll just accept their corporate PR statement and move on like good little fans. But not today. Hello, viewers. If you're new here, please don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button for daily updates on WWE Raw. I'm about to expose the truth about who really attacked CM Punk at WarGames, and it's going to make your blood boil when you realize how long they've been playing us. Hit that like button right now if you're ready for the truth, because what I'm about to reveal is going to have you screaming in the comments section. The incident. Let's set the scene. Survivor Series WarGames 2024. The OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline. Tensions are at an all-time high. CM Punk, the self-proclaimed best in the world, is finally getting his moment in the WarGames structure, a match he's never competed in during his entire legendary career. Everything seems perfect, right? Wrong. Because in the closing moments of what should have been CM Punk's crowning achievement, something happened that WWE still hasn't properly explained. As Punk was setting up for the GTS on Solo Sikoa, as the crowd was on their feet ready to witness history, boom! A mystery attacker emerged from the shadows of the WarGames structure and demolished Punk with a steel chair. Not once, not twice, but 7 times. 7 calculated, vicious chair shots that left the Second City Saint crumpled in a heap, allowing Solo Sikoa to capitalize and steal the victory. Now, WWE wants you to believe this was just chaos of WarGames. They want you to think it was just another Bloodline member. Triple H stood at that podium, sweat dripping down his forehead, and told us investigations are ongoing. Investigations are ongoing? Are you kidding me right now? This is the same company that has cameras in every corner of every arena, the same production team that can replay a finisher from 17 different angles in slow motion, and you're telling me you can't identify one person? But here's where it gets interesting, and I want you to pay very close attention to what I'm about to tell you. The evidence builds. Let me present you with facts, not speculation, not conspiracy theories, facts that WWE cannot dispute no matter how hard they try to bury this story. Fact number 1. The attack happened exactly 45 seconds after Seth Rollins' music hit backstage during a segment that was supposedly unrelated to the WarGames match. Coincidence? Maybe, but wait, there's more. Fact number 2. In the week leading up to WarGames, Seth Rollins did 7 interviews where he mentioned CM Punk by name. 7 interviews where he couldn't help but take subtle shots at the best in the world. 7 interviews where his jealousy was practically dripping through the screen. And you know what's absolutely insane? WWE edited out 3 of those mentions from their official YouTube uploads. I have the original footage. Why would they do that unless they were trying to cover something up? Fact number 3. Let's talk about the chair shots themselves. 7 calculated strikes, not the wild, desperate swings of a Bloodline enforcer. These were precise, deliberate, professional. I had a weapons expert, yes, an actual wrestling weapons expert, analyze the footage. And you know what he told me? Those chair shots were delivered with the exact technique that Seth Rollins uses. The grip, the angle, the follow-through, it's practically a fingerprint. But here's where it gets really crazy, and this is where I need you to stick with me because this is going to blow your mind. Fact number 4. The attacker's boots. In the 3 seconds of footage we have of the Mystery Man, you can clearly see their boots. Now, most people wouldn't think twice about wrestling boots, right? They all look the same. Wrong again. I enhanced the footage, and I'm talking serious digital enhancement here, and those boots have a very specific design. A 3-stripe pattern on the side. Guess who else has boots with that exact same pattern? I'll give you one guess, and his initials are SR. Fact number 5. Seth Rollins took a personal day the day after WarGames. A personal day. The man who never misses a show, who prides himself on being the workhorse of WWE, suddenly needs a personal day right after this attack? And get this, when he returned to Raw 3 days later, he had visible bruising on his right forearm. You know what causes that kind of bruising? Repeated impact from steel chair usage. The evidence is piling up, and we haven't even gotten to the most damning piece yet. The motive. But why? Why would Seth Rollins, a man who's supposed to be CM Punk's ally, his friend, do something this heinous? Let me take you back, way back, to the root of this toxic relationship. It's 2014. CM Punk walks out of WWE, leaving Seth Rollins and The Shield behind. Seth has gone on record multiple times saying that Punk's departure affected the locker room and that it made things harder for everyone. But here's what he doesn't say publicly. Punk's departure meant Seth had to work twice as hard to fill that main event void. Fast forward 2023, CM Punk returns to WWE. The pop is massive, bigger than anything Seth has received in years. And how does WWE treat this return? They put Punk immediately into a program with Drew McIntyre. They give him a WrestleMania moment. They position him as the returning hero. Meanwhile, what's Seth Rollins doing? He's working his butt off as World Heavyweight Champion, defending that title against everyone, putting on banger after banger, and getting a fraction of the attention that Punk gets just by showing up. Let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. How would you feel if you spent years building WWE from the ground up, carrying the company through its darkest periods, destroying your body night after night, only to have some guy who walked out get treated like the second coming of Stone Cold Steve Austin? You'd be furious, you'd be resentful, you'd be looking for payback. And here's the thing that nobody is talking about. Seth Rollins has a history of betraying his so-called brothers. The Shield breakup, anyone? Seth Rollins, the architect of betrayal, the man who destroyed his own brothers with a chair to the back. It's almost poetic, right? The weapon of choice at WarGames? A chair. The same weapon Seth used to turn on Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. But the motive goes even deeper than professional jealousy. In October, CM Punk did an interview on Cheap Heat where he made a comment, a seemingly innocent comment, about how some guys in the locker room are content being good when they could be great. He never mentioned Seth by name, but everyone knew who he was talking about. Seth's response? Radio silence, publicly at least. But backstage, sources, and I'm talking multiple independent sources, tell me that Seth confronted Punk about that comment. The conversation got heated, words were exchanged, threats were made. WWE, of course, swept it under the rug. Can't have their two top stars feuding for real, right? Can't let the fans know that there's legitimate heat between these guys. So, Seth bided his time. He waited, he plotted, and at WarGames, when the entire world was focused on the Bloodline saga, when CM Punk was at his most vulnerable, Seth struck. The cover-up. Now here's where this story goes from shocking to absolutely infuriating. Because WWE knows, Triple H knows, Adam Pearce knows, even Michael Cole probably knows. But they're all complicit in covering this up. Why? Money. It always comes back to money. Think about it. CM Punk is the company's golden goose right now. His merchandise sales are through the roof. His segments draw the highest ratings. Netflix is about to pay WWE billions for Raw, and guess whose face is going to be all over those promotional materials? CM Punk. And Seth Rollins? He's their workhorse, their reliable main eventer, the guy they can count on to deliver in any situation. They can't afford to lose either of these guys. So, what do? They bury the story. They tell us investigations are ongoing. They distract us with other storylines. They hope we'll just forget about it. But I've got news for Triple H and everyone in that Stamford corporate office. We're not forgetting. The wrestling world demands answers. And here's the most diabolical part of this whole cover-up. They're going to turn this into a storyline. That's right, they're going to take this real betrayal, this legitimate attack, and they're going to package it up nice and neat for WrestleMania season. Oh, what a great story, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Who attacked whom? Tune in to find out. They're going to profit off their own corruption. They're going to make millions from a situation they should have addressed with honesty and transparency from day one. I've seen the internal emails. I've talked to people in that building. There was a meeting the day after WarGames where executives specifically discussed how to manage the narrative around this attack. Not how to find the truth, not how to deliver justice, how to manage the narrative. That's corporate speak for how do we lie to the fans without getting caught. And you know what's the most frustrating part? It's working. Most